Hi guys, fellow adventurers and fellow tabletop lovers. We are the team behind the game I have Zamrock Invasion. My name is Marko, this is Zlatko, and we're here today to guide you through some crucial know-hows regarding how to play our game and how this game originally came to be. This is something that is sort of Zlatko's area of expertise. He will guide you through some lore and the interesting story behind the game. So Zlatko, you can tell them something about why we decided to make this board game.
The whole story about Zamrock came to me when I was really young, and throughout the years I've even written lots of stories about it, and we played campaigns of D&D inside this world.
It was your D&D setting. It was the theme you used for D&D.
Yes,
we
used it at the base.
Game master for.
Yes, I'm now already 20 years old game master. So we had this world, and at one point we decided to create a strategy game with some fantasy theme, and this world came as a natural background setting for this whole setup.
You played for 20 years, you played your own themed D&D,
Yes.
set it in the world of Zamrock. Basically, you had some, let's say, it was a tournament, it was a hackathon, but it's not, I don't know, it's the word
Yes,
hackathon.
we were part of it, and we
yeah.
won with some other game, and then we decided to make something bigger, something more juicier like
Yeah.
this, which
to
might
make
be
it hard on ourselves, yeah.
Yeah, it might be a mistake, but other than that, we're really happy that we have something like a product in front of us that's 5 years of engagement, and we've came to this part where we can already present it and tell, hey guys, we're here. One important thing, this is just prototype, so this is something we handmade. And
Everything you see apart from this laptop and this table, is handcraft. So when I say handcraft, it really is, especially the resources. So many sleepless nights are behind this. No, it's an interesting fact that every time we spread the game on the table like this, it's so impactful. Every time when we do something like production, when we are talking about with the manufacturers, other teams and everything, when we're not playing the game, actually, we kind of forget the colorfulness of this game and of this world, because we think the strength of this game, it's not just visual moment and elements that we have or the mechanics, but the actual story behind it. That story that was, like you said, that was fruitful for 30 years, that was brewing inside of you. So it's something like, let's say, 360. We have the visual moment, we have the mechanics, and we have the really interesting lore that we really hope that you guys are going to get immersed in and you're going to love it. So starting from there, the world of Zamrock, this game is actually just a tiny piece of history of your world. It's set in the episode where that famous word invasion is happening. The invasion is, let's say, in your own words, in your own language, it's what point in history, in Zamrock history, is this moment in our game?
So this is the end of the 7th age since becoming, where the demons decided to take upon full-scale attack against all beings living there. They're coming out of their own dimension. They're heading out from the demon portal they created at the center of the world.
It's actually a lake. It's called
Iris Lake. Yeah,
since the world is the eye, this is the iris.
Yeah.
So it's symbolic.
Actually, this is just a part of the world of Zamrock. This is the eye of Zamrock, which is just an eye of one big god that was slain eons ago.
We're supposed to tell them that?
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, maybe they'll find out later. But
Okay.
anyway, at this moment, the demons are starting to come out of the portal, and all the kingdoms, there are 6 kingdoms of Zamrock, they are trying to stop this invasion, but they have their own motives, because only one can be a victor in this whole.
Well, actually, they came this close to be united in this fight, but this invasion also unearthed an almost forgotten prophecy that stated that only one kingdom can emerge from this war as a leading kingdom that will spearhead the entire world of Zamrock into a new age of prosperity, etc., etc., etc. The players will have the challenge of controlling their kingdoms fighting off the invasion. That is a massive threat throughout the game, and also they will have to balance their own ulterior motives with their need or choice, so to speak, of cooperating with other players. When we say cooperating, it's
exactly, that's a loose
it's
term.
It's
because
the game does not oblige you to be cooperative. It's your own choice. When the common goal is not an objective that is that you are needed to follow. It's not. You just have to survive. Like we said, you fight for survival and strive for domination. It's the essence of these games. This is the beauty of this game. Actually, you have so many diverse ways in securing your own victory at the end. This is what it's all about. You have to win.
So the true start of the game is when players go ahead and they gain certain locations of their quests. They also have their own heroes, they have emissaries, and their castles are placed on their own territory.
Okay, let's lead you through some basics. There are 6 kingdoms of the eye that each player controls. They are endangered because the demonic invasion is coming out from the portal that is in the center of the world. So, in order for a kingdom to win, to be the victorious one, you have to gain the most victory points. They're called the Eye of Zamrock medals. To win those medals, you have to progress here on this kingdom influence tracker. You progress there by doing 5 different actions that are called trade, build, quest, colonization, and battle. Progressing here on this tracker, the higher your influence, the higher your kingdom influence is, the closer you are to building the 3-leveled crystal tower. The tower is important. Why? Because the kingdom that builds the last level of the tower stops the game, stops the invasion, and the medals are being counted. That doesn't mean, however, the kingdom who has the most medals at that point is the victorious one, for there's a prestigious tournament that is being held at the end of the game in the glory of the victory over the demon forces, in which lies an opportunity for extra points or medals. So you can win crucial points at the last minute, so the player who had the most points throughout the game doesn't mean he will be the victorious one at the end of the game. So the kingdom influence tracker is also important, not because you follow your kingdom's progress and see which player did which action. It's also important for their 3 milestones on the 7th, on the 13th, and on the 18th turn, where you can draw Crystal Tower Plan. These cards are important because it contains a different combination for the crystals you must use to build your tower. There are 3 tower levels, so there are 3 throughout the game. You draw 3 cards with different combinations. If you're in luck, there are going to be different combinations because there are prices here, and the crystals that are being drawn from the market are not returned on the market, so the price can only go higher. So why the invasion? Throughout the game, each player or kingdom is endangered by the demonic invasion that is pouring out from the center of the world, from the portal that is being opened in the Lake of Iris. Each player has its own capital city, which has its own lane with their own sets of colors that represent the demonic path or lane from the portal towards the city.
At the end of each turn, every player throws 2 dices. One is the color die, and the other is the die with the kingdom shield. So, color die represents the place where the demons will move forward throughout their demon lane towards the kingdom castles. This die represents on which lane the demons will come out from the portal.
There are 6 castles, there are 6 lanes.
Exactly.
Each lane has its own color combination for every time you roll a die with a color, there's an arrow in front of the demon that if matches the die with the color, then the demon moves. So each lane has its own combination in order to not all demons are gonna move at the same time.
Exactly. Also, when this is the demon tracker. When the demon tracker is completely empty from the demons, the demon lord comes out next. Each time demon lord enters the game, they gain special abilities, demon lord abilities, which are making the game replayable.
There are 4 demon lords that can enter the game and endanger your kingdom some more, because each of them has its own sets of demonic skills and abilities that really present a challenge for your hero and your armies. Each time the demon enters the game, it will have completely different abilities, and your hero will have to start over to adapt to the situation, and your strategy will suffer or will be flourish depending on the situation. So basically your hero is the main figure that you will lead throughout the game, doing some quests or fighting with the demons. But you also have reinforcements with your armies that you can recruit. There are 3 types of units. There are infantry, there's cavalry, and there are siege units, or catapults as we call them in the game. So you have to really create a strategy in which unit you will recruit, because not every unit can fight that well on the territory in which they find themselves, because we have 3 different types of territories. We have hills, we have plains, and we have forests. So each unit has its own advantage or disadvantage regarding the territory in which they fight. Another crucial element of the game are the resources, divided into 2 groups. You have buildable and consumable, with each one having its own unique purpose through the game. They're fundamental to your strategy.
Why?
Well, because they're essential to the game. Your kingdom cannot progress without using all of them. So you can use some more than the others, but essentially you have to use all of them in your game. So there's one way to acquire them, is to hold the sites, their founding sites, with your kingdom. You can control 3 sites, and the other 3 resources you're able to get on the market here. Basically, this is let's say something of it's not a core element of our game, but it's one of the most interesting and the most dynamic elements. It really is a game changer, because here is the true fight lies here, because it's well, essentially it's a supply and demand principle here. There's you set your own prices, and it's not the same situation when you're starting the game, when you're in the middle of the game, or especially when you're nearing the end. Exactly. Because you have all your own motives to, let's say, sabotage the other players. But when you see that someone is hurrying towards the end, and you have the resource, that he needs. You don't want to sell him at fair price. You want to sell him for a higher price. So you have that moment there. You have that competitive moment right here in this market. So I think it's one of our strengths, to say at least. The battle commences each time Demon Lord, demons are found in the same territory with hero, armies, or both. There are many variables that are inflicting the course of battle, with that being the number of demons on the territory, number of units. When I say units, I mean your armies, and the number of demon lords and the heroes that are also participants in this particular battle.
Additionally, it's important to position your armies well in this battle, because that can change the strategy.
Yeah, like on the real battlefield, you have the lines, you have the battle lines. Your hero can either lead a charge or be like general or an officer, can command your units from behind. So it's really important to your strategy for the course of battle how you're going to position your armies in accordance with your hero. With that being said, each participant in the battle has its own attack die that he rolls. So you have many dices with many different set of values on them.
The dice are not the most important part of this game, because you can have also items, and you can have scrolls which add an edge to all these fights.
We have like physical and we have magical damage that can be used in the fighting, because physical damage is the damage you inflict with those dices. So it's essentially very straightforward. So you roll the dice and you see who has the higher value. So we really made an effort to come up with a solution that will control and limit the luck effect and the randomness that dices possess. The fights are unpredictable and they're interesting because there's no way of knowing the outcome before you enter the battle. So you never know the fight, whether the fight is going to be easy or it's going to be hard. You can see two demons and you can attack them thinking they're going to be easy prey for your hero, but it's not the case. It's not always the case.
In Zamrock we have 3 types of coins. On each of them you can find the saying, our story will not be forgotten.
And not forgotten will be our story.
And not forgotten will be our story on the other side of the coin. So each one represents a different amount of coins. Actually, it's 1, 3, and 5.
Okay, so dear fellow adventurers and board game lovers, this is only a tiny bit of everything that our game has to offer. Stay with us, enjoy our tavern, and we will try and come up with much more of these videos in the days to come, covering different aspects of our game. For as much as we like to, there's no chance that one video can cover everything. So hope you like it, hope you enjoy it. Feel free to start a discussion about anything you would like to ask us about or tell us about. Feel free to ask us to make a video about the segment you are interested in the most, whether it's the fighting or the trading or anything you saw in this video and that has got your attention. So, okay guys, till next time, see ya.